And what's going on, guys? And welcome to the Benches Cleared podcast, where we cover the best rivalry in all of sports. And this is the voluptuous, play that funky music white boy, Tyler Coe. He represents the side of the Los Angeles Dodgers.
The 2020 World Series champion Los Angeles Dodgers. You heard here first. This is Jesse Gutierrez. He represents the 5th place 2020 San Francisco Giants.
That's a little rush. That's a little harsh. I mean, we're going to get into standings. We have a lot of predictions and stuff going on. Giants are underrated. That's a preview. But more importantly, it is opening day eve.
Yes.
The day that you said that would never come.
Hey,
and
I'll be the first one to admit that I was wrong, and I will celebrate that I was wrong.
Well, that makes me a little happy because I felt like you were kind of like, I want to be right so much. You would be there, you're going to Nancy Kerrigan this bitch and like hit someone in the ankles.
Wow, that's like a really low opinion of me.
Was it? That was like,
yeah, that's really mean.
You just call me a jive turkey.
Before we get into predictions and stuff, let's get into the polls. Last week we went over grading of our team's pitchings. We're going to go over the infield and the outfield, defense, offense, all of the above. We're going to start with the Giants side infield. You guys went with D, 42%. Thought you had a D infield. I'm going to say that's pretty accurate. I want to look at it at a better light to where it would be like maybe D plus C minus, but because I mean honestly, Wilmer Flores is looking pretty hot. But the thing is when you lose someone like a Buster Posey, and you're not willing to call up your top prospect in Bart when he's obviously ready to go, which we'll get more into that a little bit later with predictions. You can't expect it to be anything other than mediocre. You're not putting your best foot forward, and as of right now, opening day, he's not there. So I got to give it a D because also Longoria is not going to be there at first. So all you're banking on the infield isn't Pablo Sandoval and
isn't Brandon Belt?
Belt and Longoria aren't okay for opening day. They should be like in the next week or so, but we should.
Yeah.
See.
So I mean, that's down three of your infielders right there.
Yeah, exactly. And
so D makes sense.
We all see it, okay, Giants fans. We know what's going on. Like my guy Jason at J Mintz gave it an F rating. I get it. Like it could be that bad. Definitely, I 100% agree. A lot has to go right. If they do make any noise, it's going to be because they have their pitching really shows up, and offense just scores just enough runs for them to be good, like most other Giants successful teams.
Well, that's good. I'm glad the Giants fans out there are at least self-aware.
Yeah, we're self-aware.
Okay, yeah, no, I'll give you guys that, because if I went to that poll and saw 30% say A, I'd be like, okay, this is just a joke at this point. But anyway,
yeah,
speaking of A's, let's jump into the Dodgers infield, where 58% of you said it is an A, and then 32% of you said B. 10% of you said D, which I'm assuming is just pissed off Giants fans. So we're going to go with the healthy split of A and B, and I absolutely agree. And this was before the news broke about Gavin Lux, which we'll get into in a little bit, about him not being on the opening day roster. But, I mean, you're looking at Justin Turner at third, Seager at short, Muncy at first, and probably 2/3 of the time Kike at second with Will Smith behind the backstop. I mean,
that's your only little dip is second. So yeah, I would agree. It's
but not. I don't know. And like I said, I'll wait because I have some things to say about that. So I'll wait until we get into the Kike Hernandez debate. I'll wait.
All right. Yeah, a little preview, a little foreshadowing. I like that. We're gonna go back to the Giants side and go to the outfield. When I made this poll, I'm a realist here. So I didn't even put A in it because you're only able to do 4. So I put B, C, D, and F, and overwhelmingly 50% said F. And yeah, I'm going to give it same thing as the infield. I'm going to give it a D because I believe a lot has to go right for it to be, like a C. And I'm not going to go D. I mean, I'm not going to go F because, they're not the Orioles here. They're not like.
I feel like you can't give any team an F before the season starts.
Well, you can't.
These are all Major League Baseball players. Yeah,
this is on paper compared to Major League Baseball players. Yeah, exactly. And I like this isn't a dumpster fire like the Orioles and like half the teams in the American League. Okay, like they're trying to compete. So I'm going to give it a D. And if luck goes right, like Austin Slater keeps smashing like he did in the exhibition game. If
the one game.
Yeah, the one. Well, we're going to get into that because that's one of my predictions about Austin. I'm a huge Austin Slater fan. There's a lot. If guys show up, they have potentially a solid C. If miracles happen, a B. But realistically, it's probably going to be DC. And with all hopes being C, they're relying on their pitching, just like we said last week. I mean, the bullpen, I discussed how the Giants bullpen is better than the Dodger bullpen. I think the starting pitching of the Giants can be very solid if things go right. So for them to contend, it's going to be based on pitching and off. Like I said, offense is just going to have to really squeak just to make those. So they're not going to have high grades on paper. You're going to be C at best.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a stark contrast compared to the Dodgers outfield.
Yeah, exactly.
90% of you said A, and then 10% of you said D, which again, that just has to be piss off Giants fans or just people who are just assholes, because there's no way you could even give it
You
a
have
C.
two of arguably the top 5 players in baseball in that outfield. So
Right. And then you have,
you got to know where you're at.
Yeah, and we'll get into it more with the lineup predictions, but left field is going to be a split between Jock, AJ Pollock, and then sprinkle in some Kike Hernandez and Chris Taylor, maybe some Matt Beatty. But all those dudes are great players. Yeah. Jock Peterson hit 36 home runs last year, and he's not an everyday player.
If Jock Peterson got traded, he'd be batting 4th in the Giants lineup. So
right, exactly. so A, and the thing about Mookie Betts and Cody Bellinger, they're as good as they are hitting, they're just as good defensively. So
yeah,
there's no
Mookie
argument for
center.
anything but an A. So
yeah,
it's just straightforward. It's an A.
Yeah, and as far as I feel like this is solely based on offense. I feel like the infield and outfield defense is very solid. We'll get more into exactly why when we get into our predictions, and we're just going to jump straight into it. Okay, we're going to go predictions. We're doing predictions 10 each, 5 around the league and 5 on our team. Tyler, I want to hear let's end with our team. Okay, let's go around the league a little bit because we do care about other teams as well, and we do pay attention. So I'm really excited to hear what you got.
I really didn't want to pick things that have a high probability of happening in my mind. So I kind of tried to go a little bit outside the box. So my number one prediction, we hear everyone talking about it. If someone hits over 400, is it going to count? Doesn't matter. We don't have to worry about it. No one in the American League or National League will hit above 400. No one.
So number one for my all-around of the league falls right into what you were saying, that pitching is going to be way ahead of hitting. There's some guys that are going to be exceptions to the rule, right? Some people start out the gate hot and then they kind of die down and that sort of thing. But I think the mass majority of people are going to be way behind the pitching right now. I think pitching has time to rest. They got to ramp up a little bit, but I feel like it doesn't take that much to ramp up pitching as it does to get a nice, solid, confidence in the box. So I'm going to agree with you on no one's going to hit over 400 because of my prediction of pitching is going to be way ahead of hitting.
Side question here. Do you think anyone goes 8-0, 9-0 as a starter?
No, hell no. No.
I don't know.
See, streaks like that don't happen. Like, I'm going to say no. No. Even a Jacob deGrom, like Mets lineup ain't that great. Like, nah.
I think at least 2 people will. That's just a side thing of mine. Just off the top of my head.
Off the top of your head.
Number 2 for me, we've heard people say they think the number is going to be 17 home runs. They think that's kind of going to be the number to hit as far as most home runs. I'm smashing that number. I'm saying Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton hit at least 25. Both of them hit at least 25 home runs. Absolutely.
You're going to go Giancarlo's going to hit 20 home runs, you think?
25. I think they're both going to be healthy. They're both going to play at least 55 games. Also, if you look at Fangraphs put out 60-game stretches, the best 60-game stretches of each category of all time.
Yeah.
Brian Dozier hit 28 home runs in a 60-game stretch. Brian Dozier. Okay?
Yeah, but you're going to have to be on, dude.
Giancarlo's hit 33 in a 60-game stretch before. I'm saying, I'm just calling it.
This leads right into my number 2 prediction. And that is the AL is going to get exposed for being top heavy, and people are going to stop looking at them as the grand mecca of sports and how they're so much better than the National League. It's bullshit because, and to kind of explain why I'm saying no to you, Giancarlo Stanton's going to have to face the Mets pitching a lot more.
But he's already done it. He was in that division.
I understand that, but they got to have to face Nats pitching too. I mean, I understand what you're saying, okay, but Nats pitching. They're going to have to face Mets pitching a lot more. It's ridiculous.
I don't disagree with you. I think on the whole...
You just disagree with me. You just said that they're going to hit 25 home runs. I'm telling you no.
Right. I didn't say they're going to hit 350 in 25 home runs, but I think they're going to hit 25 home runs. I'm saying...
You think the only hits they're going to have are just their home runs?
Right. They're going to go 25 for 200, hit 25 home runs. No, what I'm saying is, yeah, I think the universal DH is going to expose that you've had these teams for years and years and years in the AL East where everyone thinks they're just the best team ever, but you just don't have the pitching that the NL does. So now the playing field is going to be even, and I think we're going to see a huge swing in the National League's direction. So I agree with you there, but I'm right about Giancarlo and Aaron Judge.
You're wrong, but that's fine. We'll continue to go.
Okay. Well, number 3, this kind of just contradicts what you just said as well. This is playing along very nice. The Tampa Bay Rays are going to represent the American League in the World Series. That is my prediction.
How's that contradicting what I said?
You're saying the NL is like, oh, everyone in the AL East sucks, blah blah blah.
They don't suck. I'm just saying it's top heavy.
Well,
I think it's going to be more exposed in the Central is what I'm trying to say, because
now thinking about it, what I just said kind of aligns with what you said.
Yeah,
because the Rays resemble more of a National League team than an American League team, where their pitching is going to be such, make up 80% of why they're going to be such a good team.
I would love that.
And I think their pitching is going to carry them all the way to the World Series. At least deep in the playoffs. I think they're going to win the American League East as part of that. So
that's more the prediction than what you just said.
Right. I think I think the Yankees win the wild card. They make the wild card and win the wild card game and get into the playoffs. But yeah, the Rays World Series.
Yeah. And just to go back to, I mean, I don't mean to, go backwards. We want to go forward, okay? We don't want to look back. We're going to look back for a second and talk about, the AL getting exposed. It's more like the Central, I feel like. I feel like the Twins are going to get exposed a little bit. I feel like even the White Sox might get exposed a little bit when they have to face teams like Cincinnati. They got to face St. Louis. They got to face the Cubs. I feel like they're just going to get exposed. I feel like even in the NL West, when the Angels are playing teams, like mid-tier teams in the NL West, then they're going to get exposed for being more of a dumpster fire than a mid-level team. Like I feel like the Angels are going to get handled by Padres, Diamondbacks, and Giants.
Yeah, I mean, I agree to a certain extent with what you're saying, but I think you're right. The Central, all this hype around the Twins with how the schedule has been restructured, I think it hurts them a lot, and I don't think the Twins are going to do as well as everyone thinks they're going to do for that exact reason. So I agree with you there.
I mean, when they play in their division, which is more, they're still going to have a high count. But what I'm saying, their record against NL teams,
right? The NL Central.
We're gonna see that the National League is the shit.
Oh, yeah.
On to my third prediction. This I think is a little bit more of a hot take. I'm gonna say that the Mets and the Nats are gonna fight for the top spot in the NL East. The pitching, just because of my first prediction, pitching being way ahead of hitting, I feel like the Braves probably one of the really extremely good lineup, very good team, solid bullpen, but their starting pitching really ain't shit. I mean, they got Mike Soroka, who's very underrated, should be talked about a lot more. But then they got Mike Foltynewicz. He's overrated. Everyone keeps talking about how he's supposed to be the shit. He ain't that good, all right? He ain't that good. Then you got Cole Hamels' old ass in there. Who knows what he's got left in the tank?
I don't think he's going to start the season. I think he's going to be on the IL.
Even more so, baby.
Right.
I feel like they're going to be in. I think the Mets and the Nats are going to be in the top spot, and Mets Nats fighting it out because those rotations are fucking bonkers.
Yeah, I think if King Felix was playing, I think he would.
I would have rooted for that. Yeah,
I think he would have had a great year. So I think that definitely hurts him. But I agree. I think the Mets are going to be. I think the Mets are going to be pretty good this year.
Yeah.
Another team that I think this is – I also kind of think this is a hot take, but a lot of people have been echoing what I'm thinking, or I'm echoing what they're thinking. I think the Cincinnati Reds are going to reach the NLCS. I think the Cincinnati Reds, I think their pitching is going to carry them, and I think they're going to have a great season. And not only that, the pitching, but look what they did in free agency – for their lineup.
They're well balanced.
They are. And my boy Trevor Bauer, I think he's going to have a great year. So I think the Reds are going to win the Central, and I think they're going to go all the way to the NLCS.
That's kind of hard to say because St. Louis is so fucking good. And they always seem to be there when they're not supposed to be. But I really want to see what happens with them. I think I might piggyback with you and ride this Reds bandwagon because they're just so well rounded. I don't think they have much depth, but if the guys stay healthy, they could be one of the best teams in baseball because they have solid starting pitching, really good lineup. Bullpen I don't think it's bad, but it's not star-studded. Amir Garrett's awesome, and they have like good guys, but as a whole, I don't think. I'm just bummed for like a sure thing.
Yeah,
I just can't say they're a sure thing.
Well, I'm hoping maybe we will be able to see Michael Lorenzen hit. I feel like they could pinch hit him just because. I mean,
they might when it dwindles down to like 25. You might be right. Right at the beginning, no, for sure. But yeah.
But I mean, you got to think he's probably a better hitter than some of the utility guys they have on the bench. I mean, that dude can just straight mash. So that'll be exciting. But yeah, I think it's going to be a two-dog race for sure between the Reds and the Cardinals. But I don't know. I'm just going with the Reds, and I also just hate the Cardinals. So I wouldn't mind seeing the Reds.
I want to see Joey Votto get some love and be able to get in the playoff.
Yeah. Definitely.
On to my number 4 prediction, and it's going to be the Braves will miss the playoffs. Kind of piggybacking on my last prediction of the Mets and Nats fighting for that top spot. I believe that the Braves won't be in contention for the wild card spot, not because they're better than the mid-tier teams. I mean that they're worse than the mid-tier teams, but the fact is they're playing a lot better teams. So I feel like their record's going to be a little bit more in the middle because they're playing monsters in the NL West. Monsters in the NL East. And monsters in the AL East. I mean, Yankees are great. Tampa Bay is great. I feel like Boston is not a powerhouse anymore, but they're not shit either. If you think of their outfield, they're obviously missing Mookie, but they also got Alex Verdugo and Kevin Pillar, who had a great year. So, I mean, and not forget Andrew Benintendi. I feel like that's going to be a lot more difficult schedule for them just to be able to ease through. I feel like the Giants, Padres, and Diamondbacks are going to have similar records to the Braves, even though I know the Braves are a better team. Just their Giants' schedule is going to be a lot easier.
Yeah. You know, I was just thinking when you were saying that too, what's going to suck for the Braves is their travel schedule is going to suck since they
Yeah.
have to play the AL East teams too.
Yep.
And you have the Mets all the way up there on the East Coast, like way up there. Then
Mhm.
Phillies, the Nats. Their travel schedule is going to suck. I don't know. I've always not liked the Braves, so I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
I can't
Fuck 'em.
stand any team with a Native American mascot or theme because I hate the chop shit that they do and
Yeah.
just hearing it. It's just always irritated the hell out of me. So fuck the Braves. I hope they don't make the playoffs. So speaking of not making the playoffs like the Braves, my fifth and final league-wide prediction: the Giants will not win more than 20 games. I said it last week. I'm sticking to it. There's a $20 Chipotle gift card on the
At
line,
stake, baby.
and
Who's eating guac?
I'm sticking with it.
Who's eating guac, baby?
Dude, bro,
I'm gonna be eating this Chipotle.
I'm getting
gonna be
double
eating this
meat.
Chipotle on the air at the end of the season.
No, I will be. I'm talking double meat. I'm talking 2 things of guac.
Talking missionary. We're talking missionary. We're talking when I'm on top and she's on her back.
You know, you won't even have to put it sparingly on the chips. You can straight dunk that shit.
Yeah, I'm getting large. You better pay for some large chips, dude. Large chips and guac.
Hey,
Don't be fucking
$20
cheap.
you can buy whatever you want, except
Don't
it'll
be
be
cheap.
me buying whatever I want.
Don't be cheap. All right. Well, I'm gonna this is another prediction in the NL West. Going over to my last prediction. My prediction is that the Rockies are the dumpster fire of the NL West, not the Giants. I don't understand how that's even a question. I don't understand a team that has no fucking starting pitching except for John Gray. I mean, Kyle Freeland was the shit 2 years ago, but he had a terrible year last year, and we're just gonna forget about that, pretend that shit didn't happen.
Yeah,
Like,
dude, they have Nolan Arenado. He's gonna save.
oh
him.
yeah, I mean, if we're looking for top probably 3 best players out of the organizations, both of them, yeah, 3 of them are going to be on the Rockies with Nolan Arenado, Trevor Story, and Charlie Blackmon. But
Charlie Blackmon, please.
yeah, I mean, but because if Charlie Blackmon was on the Giants, he'd be a middle of the order type guy over there. So
if I were on the Giants, I'd be batting 6th. All right, that's nothing.
Bitch, you wouldn't be batting 6th on my sister softball team. Okay, you ain't got shit. Anyways, yeah, I don't understand how the Rockies roster is better than the Giants roster. It doesn't make any sense. They're a shitty team. One thing that we have not brought up in these past couple podcasts when we were talking about this schedule is the fact that I know it's a 60-game season, so shit's different, but the fact is, doesn't matter how good the Dodgers are and doesn't matter how bad the Giants are and vice versa, they play each other extremely well. Over the 7-year span of the Dodgers' reign of winning the NL West, during the regular season, the Giants are only 1 game under 500 against them. So if they continue to be that, they can pull out a decent season when it comes to, they finally figured out how to beat the Rockies in Colorado last year. Depends what the Padres are, of course, but they always play the Diamondbacks really well. So I don't know. I think that there's some hope. And with that, leading into my first prediction for the Giants is the Giants will contend for a wild card spot. They will be in the talks. They will be in the conversation because they get to play teams like the Angels. They get to play teams like the Rangers, bottom feeder teams in the American League, and they play teams in the division well. I think this 100% has to do with schedule. This prediction, by the way, I'm not saying that they're better than the Braves. I would never say that.
Going for you is the Mariners, because you guys
and
play the Mariners. That's it.
And the Mariners. Well, fuck with that's what I'm saying. AL top heavy. We get a feast on the AL, and we play our division pretty well. So I feel like it's possible because of schedule. I don't think, like I said, Braves are going to miss the playoffs because their schedule is so tough. And pitching, is going to be ahead of hitting. I think that the Giants, if a lot goes right, are going to be contenders in that spot over the Braves because of schedule, not because of being the better team.
We'll see. I have the Diamondbacks winning a wild card spot, so
That's very possible.
I'm going to disagree with you there.
And I didn't say win. I said contend. So if they're like one of the two teams under, I would consider that contending. Obviously, it depends what the schedule is. If the top two teams still have like a 5-6 game difference, that's not contending. But
yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. So I'm just going to go right out of the gate. This is going to be a hot take for the Dodgers here. I have Corey Seager hitting .360 this season and winning the National League MVP. Don't at me. When it happens, everyone's going to be like, wow, Tyler, you're a genius. And I'm going to be like, yeah, I know.
Don't worry. We're going to have the first episode after the season.
Is it going to be you eating Chipotle and just shitting on me?
Yeah, it's just shitting on all your predictions. I'm going to be right this whole time. We'll let you do your crying of, oh my God, the Dodgers choked again. We'll have that episode. The next episode will be going over our predictions and how fucking stupid you are.
I'm sorry, I don't go for out of your mouth. I don't go for cookie cutter predictions like you. Like I think the Giants will be okay, not bad, but not good. I don't play that shit.
That's kind of swinging for the fences for the Giants right now.
Yeah.
So let's give you a little bit of credit there.
I'll tone it down.
Yeah. Going on to my second prediction for the Giants. Drew Smyly and Kevin Gausman were the 2 1-year major league signings, of course, like guys like Trevor Cahill, but they're minor league signings. So going off those two, I'm going to say one is going to be a flop and one's going to be a steal.
Damn, did your Shamshi just go yard?
Shamshi just went yard. Did you see it?
Yeah, I can see it on the TV.
I'm thinking of my monitor right here, and I was going to say something, but I was like, oh, Yastrzemski's the shit. He's not even in my predictions. But look, Giants beat the A's yesterday 6-2. By the time this airs, obviously we're going to know who wins, so that might sound stupid, but Yastrzemski's going yard. It's great. But yeah, Smyly, I believe, is going to be the one that is going to be the steal. 2 years off of Tommy John is supposed to be a lot better indication of what they are. But I feel like one of those two, it's just going to be a flip-flop. One of them's going to be a steal, like almost like Derek Holland of 2018, where he was just at times the best starter in the Giants rotation. And then there's going to be the one who's kind of like shit in the bed, like Derek Holland in 2019. So,
all right, for the second Dodger prediction for me, I'm going with Julio Urias leading the Dodgers in wins amongst starters. And the reason I say amongst starters is because I feel like this year could get so weird that a reliever could rack up 8 wins and, a starter might only have 7.
You think he's going to go back and forth?
Well, no, he's right now he's the solid number 3. So he's.
So you think he's better than Walker Buehler or Kershaw? You think he's just going to get the luck?
I don't think he's better. I mean, I don't think anyone could say that. Well, number one.
So you just think it's going to be like kind of like one of those luck things, like they just he happens to get the more run support.
Yeah, I mean, it's all going to depend on who he lines up against. If he gets 2 starts against the Mariners, well then that's great.
Well, I'm just trying to wrap my head around, because if it's not because it's better, it has to be because he just happens to, because that happens.
But the other thing is, I don't know when Walker Buehler is going to be starting games. I mean,
he's not out the gate ready.
No, so they're talking about how he's going to start, and then Dustin May is going to piggyback him. So Walker Buehler might not even qualify for a win. He might only pitch 3 innings or 4 innings. So
that's something we haven't talked about.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll only do 2 starts like that, and then he'll kind of be out of the gate ready to go. But with such a short season, 2 starts being kind of nullified, I mean, I think that hurts you. And with Kershaw giving up the long ball like he does, I think Urias might slot up to have the most wins. So that's just my little prediction that I'll be celebrating when I'm right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that happens. I mean, sometimes just guys someone has to get the most run support, and
sometimes luck just has something to do with it.
Falls on your side.
With wins, I feel like
you don't want to get into that. You cannot say any of them were luck. Okay, it's called masterminding of Bruce Bochy in that bullpen. That's what it is. Masterminding. That's what it is, baby. Over back to the Giants side. My third prediction for the Giants 2020 season. Joey Bart's going to come up and fucking rake and take over. I believe that he's a huge reason why we're going to contend for that wild card spot. It's bullshit that he's not going to be part of the opening day roster. They're trying to do it just for service time. And I really want to put to bed the idea that it's a smart business move to not pay him the first 5 games because you don't want to lose a year of service time, and pay him more in arbitration. That's not a smart business move. That's called a dick move. When you earn
that's
something,
such
you
cheap
should
bullshit.
get it. Everyone's saying the same thing. What if the season gets canceled and you lose that service? Well, he earned it. I don't give a fuck. And when it comes, and I can understand not putting him on if Buster Posey was there. Yeah, you're not going to bring him up and let him be Buster Posey's backup. You're going to put him on the taxi squad and let him be his backup to, be that taxi squad guy and not be on the roster. But Buster Posey's not there this year, right? If there was AAA there, hey, you know what? He needs to get some at-bats at AAA because he hasn't had any. It's just been AA. I can completely understand that. But if you're going to tell me it's better for his development to be down scrimmaging with AAA guys instead of being in-game, you lost me there. It's bullshit. The dude earned it. Give him his fucking money when he's 29 instead of 30. Give him his extra money in arbitration because dude earned that spot. He's the best. Everyone, including players on the team, this isn't just me not knowing shit. And guys who are playing with him say he's the best catcher on the roster. He's ready to go, and Giants are holding him back. It's bullshit.
He's probably also one of the top 4 hitters that would be on the roster as well.
Yeah.
I mean,
if he's in the lineup, he's hitting third. I mean, Pence is mashing right now. Austin Slater's hot as fuck, but honestly, you're gonna slate him in maybe the first couple days because you want to get his confidence up. You want to give him like 5, 6, 7 to maybe let him see some more pitches. But dude,
well, you got to think about
later. He's gonna be batting fourth. He's cleaning up.
You got to think about the owners, dude. They're billionaires. Okay, this might hurt. They want to save those extra few $1 million.
You can't. They can't face criticism if they call him up early and they have to pay him a year early. It's insanity. A team like San Francisco, who has one of the most revenues of any team in baseball. It's your turn now.
Going into number 3, I have the Dodgers winning 42 games this season. Maybe a couple less. I don't think a couple more. But somewhere between that 38 and 42 range, I'm going with 42. I think they're going to win a bunch of games this season. I think they're going to come out with the number 1 seed in the National League. What's that stupid ass look on your face?
You're not going to mention it? Why you said 42?
Jackie Robinson?
Yeah. You're not going to be like
that's a nice coincidence, sure.
That's not a coincidence. That's what came into your mind, and that's fine. That's great. You said they're going to win 42 for Jackie Robinson. That's what it is.
No, what they need to do is win a goddamn World Series for Vince Scully before he dies. That's the most important thing. It's a nice coincidence. Anywho.
Prediction number 4, Giants side. We saw it on the first exhibition game on Monday. We're going to see it throughout the season. Austin Slater will be the surprise of the team. No one's talking about him. Dude is a career 300 hitter in the minor leagues, raising all the way through. Had a great rookie season. Then last year kind of was up and down. Started off really hot, but then struggled. I'm a big Austin Slater fan. Saved by the Bell. Love the guy. He's gonna mash. Dude's gonna be the new Jastrzemski, as I like to say, where they're gonna talk about him playing every day. I think he's super solid. He's gonna start moving all around the diamond. He's gonna play some second base, some first base, a lot of outfield, and I love him.
Word. Number 4 is going to be a surprise to a lot of people, especially after my number 2 prediction. Walker Buehler is going to win the National League Cy Young Award. He's going to go straight Jacob deGrom on your asses and have like a 1.4 ERA, and he's going to win the Cy Young.
Yeah, I mean, both can be both are possible to be true because I think wins aren't held as high as the bar anymore.
No,
so
with Jacob deGrom winning back-to-back years, no way.
Yeah. I honestly think it's a matter of time before Walker Buehler wins a Cy Young. It might not be this year because if he doesn't start the year, it depends how. You're saying he doesn't start the year, or right?
No, he's gonna. Excuse me. He's gonna start the year, but it's not gonna be that he has 100 pitch count.
5, 6 innings. Okay.
Yeah, he might.
Well, I
only
think
have
that's going to be a lot of
60 pitch.
teams are saying that they're starting out with like 3 innings on their guys, so that might be the norm for everyone. So, yeah.
And the biggest thing with
That
all
might
these
hurt.
predictions is this year is going to be such a crapshoot that I'm sure we might go 0 for 10 on all our predictions, and it just is what it is.
I'm going to go 10 for 10, and I'm going to seal it right here with Mauricio Dubon. Fits into center field with ease. They're moving him to the outfield. They've he's been tested a couple times and doesn't. I mean, sometimes when they put infielders in the outfield, they look really stupid. I feel like it's gonna, I feel like his defensive metrics are gonna come out really good. I feel like he's gonna be a great defensive center fielder. He's gonna move all over the diamond. He's gonna be our version of a super utility that can actually hit. And he's gonna kill it in center field.
I think it's going to end up more like the Jock Peterson first base experiment. So good luck with that.
No, he looks good. He's already done it. All right, I've seen it.
I think
Wrapping up predictions. The biggest prediction: the Dodgers win the World Series in 6 games against the Tampa Bay Rays. They finally do it. We went out and got Mookie. He's here for a reason. We don't choke this year, and it finally happens. You heard it here first. 6
You can
games.
hear it. It's fine that it's heard here first. It just ain't gonna happen. They're first, second round. They're gonna be out. They're not gonna even reach the World Series this year. Put it in the bag.
Yeah.
Put it in the bag. And speaking of this idea of the rivalry and this podcast being all about the rivalry, it is an absolute treat that tomorrow, opening day, Dodgers Giants. It's going to be great. Going to be grilling probably some dogs. Going to do some dog fest maybe on Thursday. Bacon wrap hot dog and some brats maybe some burgers. I don't know yet. Actually, I'm a liar. I'm going to do ribs. There we go. I'm switching it up.
I'm thinking maybe I might do a ribeye. Nice little
ribeye steak
for Daddy.
No, here's the great thing about being a meat cutter, is when I cut my beef ribs from the ribeye, my knife kind of slips a little bit. I can't control my knife sometimes, so I get so much fucking meat on my ribs. It's not even funny.
It's like a mixture of the two.
So
you get the best of both worlds.
There's like a thing of meat they're just so delicious.
God damn.
But before you see us freaking go all the way erect, let's get into the last predictions, and that's the opening day predictions of the starting lineup. We obviously know the starting pitchers. The Giants actually knew the starting pitcher a couple weeks ago when Johnny Cueto tweeted that he would be facing Kershaw for opening day. 5 days later, Gabe Kapler was like, "Oh no, yeah, Johnny Cueto is a starting pitcher." Yeah, we already know. Johnny told us on social media. Okay.
We don't need you, Gabe.
We don't need you, Gabe. We don't need you right now. But I'm gonna go. Dubon's gonna lead off and start in center field. Solano, Donnie Baseball, perfect number 2 hitter, gonna spray the ball over the field. And we got a masher, guy who mashes lefties. All right, it's Juan Flores is going to be number 3. We're going to go Hunter Pence, number 5, another lefty masher is going to destroy Kershaw. My man Austin Slater is going to be playing some first base. Yastrzemski is going to be playing some right field. Pablo Sandoval is going to be DHing, and he's the fatter the panda, the fatter the average. So he's big. Expect some big things from him. The other last lefty of the crew is going to be Brandon Crawford. He's going to be starting at shortstop. And because Joey Bart is not up, which he should be up and starting because it is a lefty pitcher, it's actually going to be Tyler Heineman. Because Tyler Heineman's been catching Johnny Cueto, so I feel like they're kind of grooming him for him. So there we go.
Yeah, with the Dodgers lineup, it's not so much of a prediction. I mean, we already kind of know. Mookie's gonna be leading off, playing right. Max Muncy's gonna be hitting second, playing first. Turner's gonna be hitting third, playing third. Bellinger's going to be batting cleanup, playing center. Seager is going to be batting fifth, playing short. Batting sixth is either going to be Jock or AJ Pollock, depending on.
You gotta pick one. These are predictions. You gotta.
Well, I'm saying for the season going forward, not just for opening day. They're going to be splitting time between left and righties.
Mm-hmm.
Kike is going to be your everyday starting second baseman with a little bit of Chris Taylor sprinkled in there because, like we kind of alluded to at the beginning of the video, Gavin Lux was optioned today, and I commend the front office for doing this. I'm not so sold on Gavin Lux. And he definitely played like shit in the exhibition games and the inter-squad games. So with this season being such a sprint and, everyone's saying we don't have time to account for slumps, the Dodgers really put their money where their mouth is and they sent him down, which I'm a huge fan of because he just comes off as arrogant to me, saying like, I want to win Rookie of the Year and all this stuff. And he hasn't proven shit. And Kike's been super hot. And I love Kike. So Kike's playing second. And then in the eighth spot, it's going to be AJ Pollock or Jock Peterson, DHing, whichever one's not in the field. And then you're going to have Matt Beatty sprinkled in there and Edwin Rios. And then Will Smith's going to be batting 9, catching.
Yeah, I think we weren't on the same page with the way we answered it because that was the righty lineup. Okay, there's a lot more. Obviously, Longoria is going to be sprinkled in when he comes back. He's just not going to be there for opening day. Against righties, there's going to be Alex Dickerson's a fucking masher. He's going to be in there. Brandon Belt. I hope we see some Jalen Davis, but it all depends. And speaking of Jalen Davis and Gabe Kapler, they broke the internet yesterday. Made Aubrey Huff's worst nightmares come true. And I love to see it. We saw our not first kneelings because catcher for the A's, Bruce. He was the first one to kneel in baseball.
I do remember that.
Yeah, it was a couple years ago, right when Cap was kneeling. Giants are doing it right now. Austin Slater, Yastrzemski, Jalen Davis. Brandon Crawford wasn't kneeling, but he was standing with them, like their hands on like saying like I support you. But I'm gonna stand which I feel like is really important and really great. Like the flag and the anthem means a lot to different types of people and different walks of people. I think it's not a bad thing to stand. I think it's a bad thing to stand and tell people that are kneeling that they're doing it wrong and they're disrespecting things. But if it doesn't make sense to you, like if the flag means like specifically stuff to veterans and that's how you were brought up, that's great. Then stand. But you should also be standing with the people that are kneeling because this is a legit issue and something that needs to continue to be talked about.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it needs to continue to be talked about.
Right.
It should be over by now.
I think that's a great point. Like, if you're standing in defiance of people kneeling, then you're a fucking asshole. Yeah. If you're standing just because that's what feels right to you, but you acknowledge why people are kneeling and you acknowledge, that is bringing some kind of exposure to the cause, then great, stand, do what you want. But I think, we might have to make this a weekly segment of, I don't know if you saw the 2-minute video that Aubrey Huff posted, and he's lost his fucking mind. And he posted, and I don't know her name. I'm sure you do.
Oh, Alyssa Nakken,
right.
First Giants coach. He's a bitch for talking shit about. He's been talking shit. He's been drawing like he's like a fucking painter all of a sudden, Mr. Artist, and he just super disrespectful towards her. Completely doesn't even know her.
Yeah,
and it's complete.
He posted a picture of everyone standing on the line during the anthem, and she's standing for the anthem, and he posted a caption saying she has more balls than Gabe Kapler, Jalen Davis. And it's just like, dude, are you out of your fucking mind? Like, you're so disrespectful. And furthermore, she accomplished something huge yesterday by being the first female Major League Baseball coach. And you're just going to acknowledge, all the spotlight you're giving her is she's standing for the anthem, and now that makes her like a patriot and she has more balls. Like, fuck you, Aubrey Huff. We've said it a million times. Fuck you.
You can say it a million more times. It's just music to my ears.
Hell, you could say that 10,000 times and it still wouldn't be enough.
It fires me up, man.
And that's another thing when it comes. You know for a fact, Aubrey Huff, by the way, was pissed when he saw her out there. It ruined his fucking day. Okay, but everyone and it's terrible because it's not just guys like Aubrey Huff. There's a lot of fans. If you look through the mentions on people's Twitters when they're posting about her, you know, I'm as qualified as her. Like, do you know what her accomplishments are? Do you know what she is? She's been in the organization working her way up for years. She's a star college softball player, which granted, yeah, it's not the same as baseball, like as you're performing, but it's the same game. So you could see things and you could pick up on things when you're looking at it different, different perspective and different ways to win. Obviously she wouldn't be there if she didn't deserve it. She's the first female. That means she has to be 10 times what other coaches are for anyone to accept her.
Right.
So obviously she knows her shit.
Right. And it's like, and again, I don't know her name, but there's that female coach.
Alyssa Nakken.
No. I'm saying there's a female coach for the San Francisco 49ers as well.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's people are like, well, she never played the sport at a high level. And it's like, well, they don't have the opportunities.
Yeah,
so many,
exactly.
If you look at Japan, for instance, so many women play baseball because softball was just never really introduced. So all women play baseball. And a lot of women in the United States want that same opportunity, but they're not given that opportunity. So they have to play softball. So to say someone doesn't have the knowledge of the game because they played softball instead of baseball is complete bullshit. It's just a terrible argument.
Show me examples of her mistakes. You know what I'm saying? If you're saying she can't do the job, what did she fuck up on? Right. You know what I'm saying? She's literally
and of course she's going to fuck up. Every coach fucks up.
Yeah.
And she's going to get criticized, and that's fine. But she deserves to be there.
Exactly. Criticize her baseball decisions. Criticize what she's doing in the game. If you're just saying she's not qualified just because she's a woman, like, there's just nothing else I could say about you. Like,
you probably have an Aubrey Huff autographed baseball in your house somewhere.
Small dick energy.
Can we stop pretending that Aubrey Huff is not like some great baseball player?
No, he's just champion for guys who hate women and hate it when people acknowledge that black people get treated different.
Yes, yeah. Him and his best friend Jeff Kent probably talk all the time.
Why are you gonna go there, man?
Because
trying to ruin my childhood.
Jeff Kent's
I don't want to talk about Jeff Kent.
And our boy Brooks said it best. Our boy Brooks said it best. The secret cop, Jeff Kent. I think Aubrey Huff's right there. Aubrey Huff's more like the undercover, Homeland Security people in Portland. That's what he secretly would want to do.
No, Aubrey Huff is that dude fucking in the woods with a fucking foil on top of his head because the CIA is spying on him. That's the type of guy Aubrey Huff is. Fuck that dude. That's 1,000,002 right there. We're going to keep on going. 100 times.
It rhymes. They're both verbs.
All right, guys, before we wrap it up for this week, we do have a couple giveaway announcements, a couple giveaway winners to announce. So for the Dodger side, the winner of the Jose Lima signed baseball and the $25 Amazon gift card is going to be our friend Joe Papermaker at Papermakers Army on Twitter. Congratulations. I will be shipping that Jose Lima ball to you.
And over to the Giants side, winner of great Willie McCovey bobblehead as well as $25 to Amazon is our buddy Austin at Aka24. You won. All your wildest dreams have come true. It's great. We're ready for baseball. It's baseball tomorrow, baby. I'm so fucking excited. I'm so fucking amped. It's happening unless a meteor hits the fucking Earth, which is, if 2020 is any indication of stuff, it's very possible.
Yeah, of course. But at least I think we can say with almost certainty we're going to at least get one game, probably at least one series. Because when travel starts, that's when things are going to get wonky. But at least one series.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know. Once they start it, they're going to finish it. We're going to be great. We're going to play 60 games. Dodgers are going to get knocked out of the second round.
I fucking doubt it. But anyways, this has been the Bench is Cleared podcast, brought to you by
Yes.
Renovation Candle Company. Renovation Candle Company fall collection dropping August 3rd, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Collection.
Use promo code BENCHES for 20% off your order. No one does fall like Renovation Candle Company does
Nobody.
fall.
Nobody does fall.
I dare you to tell me someone
dare-
that does it better
Come
than
at me.
I doubt it.
Come at me. Ooh, who
Mhm.
else just hit a bomb? Who hit a bomb real quick? Alex Dickerson. I fucking love that dude. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. Make sure to be following us on Twitter at BenchesClearedP, on Instagram at BenchesClearedPodcast. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube. Subscribe whatever podcast platform you are listening to, and look up for this guy down here. Wait, where's my? There we go. This guy right here at AT&T Park. If you're able to catch a picture of me at the stadium, my cardboard cutout, this guy right down here, this picture right here, you'll win something. I'm not sure what, but send me the picture and we'll send you some type of gift card. We'll buy you dinner.
You'll
First
get a
one to do it.
personalized selfie signed by Jesse himself.
Yeah. You'll win the cardboard cutout. No, I'm actually really excited to get that thing home. Do weird things to it. No, if
Did they
if
send
you're
you
watching
it
the game,
after the season?
you have to go pick it up. But I
Oh.
will for sure pick that up, especially because me and my dad, oh, dude. So my dad, we got to do ugly faces, dude. We can't just be little bitches watching you. And he did that's a mug right there. My dad's got a mug. Fucking mug. Look at this guy.
I can't wait for next season. You go on vacation and I have to do an episode by myself and I'll just have it with me. So it's like you're here. It's going to be great. It's gonna be
I'm going to
awesome.
do the cardboard cutout next year is going to be right here. We don't have to watch games. So it will be my cardboard cutout. But thank you guys so much for listening. And we'll be back next week. Let's say fuck Aubrey Huff.